Lok Sabha is about to speak, but he was not allowed to speak because of that pandemonium there. Payal, I'll come to you in just a bit. Now we're learning that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has reacted to what has come out of the Paris Olympics. There's a first reaction coming in from the Prime Minister, and he has said, and I'm quoting, Vinesh, you are a champion among champions. You are India's pride and an inspiration for each and every Indian. Today's setback hurts. I wish words could express the sense of despair that I am experiencing. At the same time, I know that you epitomize resilience. It has always been your nature to take challenges head on. Come back stronger. We are all rooting for you. My colleague Payal is with us. Payal, that's an important statement by the Prime Minister of the country.
Yes, even though several people within the opposition and several circles are saying that probably the Prime Minister will find it very difficult, to speak to Vinesh or probably embrace what she's really gone through as well. But the Prime Minister acting like a guardian, acting like a Prime Minister of the country, essentially putting out that tweet and sending a very important message saying that you come back stronger. We are rooting for you. This is a big message that the Prime Minister really has been able to send, saying that sports are over and above everything. Politics aside, a sports person wears the Indian color on their sleeve. That is something which is most important over and above everything else as well. So before anybody else could jump in and probably ask the government to in fact approve itself the floor of the house with the pandemonium that you've really seen, the Prime Minister over here, the top person in the government has come out and put out a very important tweet. He's saying you're a champion among champions. You of course have had a difficult fight and we are rooting for you. That's what the Prime Minister's tweet really says.
Payal, how do you see this getting played out now? Finally, a reaction from the Prime Minister. People were, in fact, like you rightly said, the detractors of Prime Minister Narendra Modi of Bharatiya Janata Party really claiming that the Prime Minister hasn't yet said a word about Vinesh Phogat's twin victories. And now that there is an absolute heartbreaking piece of news that's come out of the Paris Olympics, it was wanting of the Prime Minister to speak. He has finally spoken. How do you see this getting played out now, especially by the opposition members?
Well, a lot of people were actually, in fact, putting out tweets last night. Essentially, even political leaders like Rahul Gandhi put out a tweet taunting the government for the way in which they had actually dealt with Vinesh Phogat. But one must not really forget that Vinesh Phogat represents the country and Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister of the country. So, the best of facilities have been given to her if she wanted to go and compete in Paris. But now the Prime Minister's tweet is the same sentiment that all of us are feeling right now. That, yes, of course, you're a champion. One fight here and there couldn't take away your sportsmanship from you, couldn't take away your spirit from you, and you will only bounce back stronger. So that's a big message the Prime has been able to send, through his tweet, which he put out in no time of the news coming in, the heartbreaking news coming in that Vinesh has disqualified, and that medal hope is really on.
Absolutely. And Payal, for that matter, we've seen everybody, irrespective of party lines, share that same sentiment on how heartbreaking, how devastating this entire news is.
Yes, absolutely. People who sports lovers, irrespective of whichever political color they came from. Yesterday, Anurag Singh Thakur, the former sports minister, Kiran Rijiju, also the former sports minister, come out and really congratulate, Vinesh Phogat for the unique achievement, becoming the first woman to actually be able to reach the finals of, of this wrestling bout that she was going to face today as well. So they both said that the entire country was rooting for her, but of course, there's something that has been beyond the control of all those people who actually voted, rooted in fact right for Vinesh. But the facts are there for everyone to see. So obviously, right now with the Prime Minister, in fact, coming up and speaking about what Vinesh's achievement has been, and he says today's setback really hurts. I wish in words I could express the despair that I'm experiencing right now. So the Prime Minister made it very, very personal. He said, I feel I can understand your pain. I can feel your pain. I can understand what you're going through when a champion loses a battle. It's actually very, very devastating, not just for the person, but for the entire country. Very, very personalized tweet coming in from the Prime Minister. You are India's pride. I am an inspiration to each and every Indian. And I can completely understand what I'm going through. But I cannot express in words the sense of despair that I am experiencing right now. So obviously, a very personalized tweet coming in from the Prime Minister himself over here.
And Payal, since you are at the Parliament and since there has been an absolute pandemonium, especially after this news came out of the Paris Olympics, has there been any sort of a resonance after the Prime Minister has tweeted this out?
We'll have to just wait and see because the House is currently in function. We'll have to just wait and see if the MPs really come out and speak. But most importantly, the one thing to watch out for today will be the statement that the Sports Minister will be making at 3 p.m. today. talking about the entire bout that everybody's been speaking about.
Absolutely. Arunima also continues to be with us. Arunima, you were also talking about earlier how the sports minister is all set to talk about what has come out of the Paris Olympics, the possible options before Vinesh Phogat and the Indian contingent at the moment. What are they?
So you know what I am learning at the moment is the sequence of event and the rules which based on which the appeal is being considered by the Indian side. You know what the rules are very clear is that you have to weigh within your weight category before the match happens. So Fogat, when she was weighed yesterday, she was within the 50 kg weight category, but then when she was fighting those matches, we are told she was on empty stomach and she had not even had any sip of water to ensure that she was within that weight category of 50 kgs. But post her meal, obviously she had to have a meal. Post her match, she had to have a meal to get her strength back, to get her hydration back, and that could have contributed to that around 2 kgs excess weight. What I'm told is that once that 2 kg excess weight was noticed and they were aware that this morning she'll be weighed again, all night her team worked with her. She took on the jogging, skipping, cycling, all kind of cardio exercises. The team became so desperate, we are told, that at one stage they even